Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is XeTrain, and today I'm going to be going through some of the best dimension mods I could find for Fabric 1.20. All mod links will be available in the description, so let's get into it. Starting off, we have Minecells. This mod was heavily inspired by the game Dead Cells by Motion Twin, and it's absolutely incredible. It adds not one, but 3 separate portals that take you to different areas, including the first portal you can find, which spawns in the overworld, called the Prisoner's Quarters. This is heavily modelled after an underground jail, which is filled with multiple dungeon rooms, and has a very deathly uneasy feel to it. Within the dungeons, you might also stumble upon chests with loot, including some of the mod's new weapons, as well as some power items like the Frost Blast and the phaser. The mod also adds a new boss called the Conjunctivus, which spawns within the Insufferable Crypt, which can be located via a portal within the Prisoner's Quarters. It will take you down to a small room with an elevator that will take you down to the dungeon. However, be aware that this boss tends to be quite difficult to kill. However, it's very rewarding, dropping either the Tentacle, which can be used similar to a grappling hook, or the Cursed Sword, which is very powerful, but also has a downside to killing you as well. One of the really neat features is that the mod allows you to move the Prisoner's Quarters portal by breaking the blocks behind it. Alternatively, there is also a crafting recipe that can be seen on screen. Something also tells me there's plans to add crafting recipes for the other portals in the future. I'll leave you guys to discover the last area of Minecells, as I highly recommend exploring it all for yourselves as well. For the next dimension, we have Deeper and Darker. As you're probably aware, ever since ancient cities were added to the game, people have been speculating that the giant portal-looking structure in the middle of the city is exactly that, and this is what this mod aims to create. The first thing you'll want to do if you're planning on heading to the Deeper and Darker dimension is to slay a warden, which anyone knows is a challenge. However, it is necessary because of the item it drops, which is the Warden's Heart. After obtaining the Warden's Heart, right-clicking on the large portal frame within the centre, once all of the sculk growth has been removed, will open the portal to the other side. Upon entering the other side, you'll notice there's a whole lot of nothing. Just barren, open areas. Which is exactly the feeling the Deep Dark in the overworld tends to give off, and I think this mod really does expand on that. Whilst exploring, you might also discover a new type of tree called the Echo Tree, which has a really nice neutral colour to it, and also comes in all the crafting types you'd expect. Within this dimension, you may also find a structure that strongly resembles a temple. This is home to the Warden. It contains multiple floors, as well as a secret basement that contains loot. Hey guys, just quickly pausing the video here to let you know that if you've made it this far, I would really appreciate if you could double check if you're subscribed, and if you're not already, feel free to click that button, it really does help. Only 2.5% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed, so it really does help if you click that button and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, back to the video. One of the items you should look out for is the Sculk Transmitter. This item can be linked to any interactable block like chests, furnaces, shulker boxes, and crafting tables. Once linked, you can right-click anywhere and open the linked items interface, which is a great alternative to backpack mods, for example. The mod also adds a bunch of new sculk-infested hostile mobs, including the Sculk Centipede, which can be found blending in with most of the area around it, and the Shriek Worm, which tends to burrow itself slightly into the ground, resembling a Sculk Shrieker, but getting too close will cause it to launch out at you and attack. And for the final dimension, we have the Bumblezone. This mod takes the already existing beehives and nests and turns them into their own worlds, which can be accessed via throwing an ender pearl into the block itself, which will teleport you into the Bumblezone. The mod introduces a bunch of new landscapes for you to explore, including brand new bee-themed biomes, as well as structures and mobs for you to encounter, like the Sempiternal Sanctum, which is one of the mod's endgame structures and contains a bunch of great loot, as well as traps and puzzles for you to figure out. The mod also contains a brand new line of achievements, which can be achieved by finding the new biomes, the new weapons, structures, and many others. One prime example is the Queen's Desires advancement line, which requires you to bring various items to the Queen Bee, rewarding you each time with royal jelly, which gives great status effects when consumed. If you're planning on befriending the bees, the first thing you want to do is find the Queen Bee.
He can be found within the throne pillar structure, located using the honey compass, which can be found within loot chests located around the hive. Something you need to be careful of whilst exploring the Bumblezone is angering the bees. Destroying anything of value to them, aka broods, crystallized jelly, or royal jelly, will cause the bees in the area to locate and attack you. You'll also receive the potion effect Wrath of the Hive, which is the timer for when the bees are no longer hostile. Additionally, you can also hide within pollen blocks so that the bees can't find you. This will give you the potion effect Hidden. Speaking of pollen, this item is useful as an alternative for bees to pollinate and carry back to their hive. If you want to be one with the bees, whilst exploring the Bumblezone, you may discover different bee-themed armor types, like the Stingless Bee Helmet, which gives you the ability to transport bees by right-clicking them, and also decreases the duration of nausea and poison. The Bumblebee Chestplate, which gives you the ability to fly for a short time, with the flight duration and speed being increased for a short while if you consume bee bread. The Honeybee Leggings, which generate pollen while standing within flowers, and also decreases the duration of the slowness effect. And finally, the Carpenter Bee Boots, which automatically mine any of the wood types, beehives, or honeycomb blocks when standing on the block and looking down and crouching. Anyway guys, that's going to be the end of this video. I put a lot more effort than I usually do into this video, so I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will leave all mod links and their wiki links in the description, as there is a lot to these mods that I couldn't cover. And once again, if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate you subscribing. It does really help me out, and thanks for watching guys.